Real Housewife blasts Katy Perry, Orlando Bloom for lack of empathy in legal feud over $15 million mansion. Real Housewives of Dallas, alum Kameron Westcott is breaking her silence on the bitter 5-year legal battle between her family and Katy Perry over the sale of a $15 million Montecito mansion. In 2020, Kameron's father-in-law, Kameron Westcott, a U.S. Army veteran and the founder of 1-800-FLOWERS, filed a lawsuit against Perry's business manager, Gudvi, who represented Perry in the July 2020 sale of the Santa Barbara area mansion. After attempting to rescind the deal, he made to sell his 8.9-acre estate to Perry for $15 million. Westcott had reportedly purchased the home 2 months earlier for about $11.25 million. At the time, Carl sought a rescission of contract after claiming he lacked capacity to sign the transaction due to a recent surgery and brain disorder. In November 2023, Judge Joseph Lipner ruled that Gudvi was entitled to the sale of the Montecito home purchased on Perry's behalf in 2020. At the time, Lipner explained that the court did not find Westcott's psychiatrist expert credible in his ruling obtained by Fox News Digital. Westcott's primary trial evidence on lack of capacity was the analysis and testimony of his retained expert, which the court did not find credible or persuasive, Lipner wrote in the court docs. On the other hand, significant evidence showed that Westcott had capacity to enter into the contract. This evidence includes the testimony of precipient witnesses who interacted with Westcott during the days he negotiated and signed the contract. Westcott's written communications during those same days, showing him to be coherent, engaged, lucid, and rational, and the medical reports of Westcott's doctors, none of whom found he lacked capacity to engage in any action before the sales contract or for over a year afterwards. On May 17, 2024, Perry took legal ownership after the deed was recorded. The trial was split into 2 parts by the judge. The damages phase took place last year, and the penalty phase is scheduled for later this month. After a 5-year feud, Perry will take the stand this month to testify. She is seeking up to $6 million in damages, citing structural defects, deferred maintenance, and lost rental income. Kameron and the rest of the Westcott family will also be in attendance. "We never, ever, ever even wanted to have to go to court," said Kameron, who is married to Carl's son, Court. "I mean, to be honest, we all always wanted to settle with her, and we never wanted to be in this position. Especially when my father-in-law has Huntington's disease and dementia. This is the last thing we want to do and deal with. It's extremely hard on everyone. My husband has to take care of everything now with his brother, and my father-in-law can't speak for himself at all because of his condition," she added. "And now the family has inherited this horrible situation, and it's just so heartbreaking that we have to deal with this while my father-in-law is in memory care and bed, so we're in this horrible lawsuit that's been going on for 5 years. My poor father-in-law is sitting in bed and can't even get out, can't even hold a glass of water or feed himself, or can't even talk. So it's just awful dealing with all this at once." He said to our property manager at the estate sale that he was in charge of repairs. That makes him a fact witness, Chart Westcott, the veteran's son, claimed to Fox News Digital. "If she's claiming damages for repairs she had to do, and he was in charge of repairs, that sure makes him fact witness," Chart added. "If you look on Daisy Gudvi, the LLC that owns the house, he's listed as a manager of that entity. She's not." Bloom, who split from Perry earlier this year, was served a subpoena and named in the joint witness list. Chart believes the best-case scenario for his family is if the judge tells her to pound sand and she doesn't get any damages, and she shouldn't because she's made out of this like a bandit. "It's really not about the money," he insisted. "It's about whether celebrities play by the same rules as the rest of us. The rules shouldn't bend just because you're famous." According to the Daily Mail, the judge said that he only needed the testimony of the contractors and questioned how Bloom's testimony would benefit. "Why do we need Mr. Bloom to give testimony other than making this a celebrity circus?" the judge said during Friday's hearing. Perry, however, was ordered to appear at the 6-day, non-jury trial, which is set to begin August 21st. "I don't think they have empathy at all. I think this is all about material items for them," Kameron said of Bloom and Perry. They have absolutely no empathy for other people because if they did, they would try to settle and close this and move on, but they don't have empathy for other people and they don't care about their elders. I hope this never happens to any of their family members, she continued. I truly don't. I don't wish any harm on any of their family, and I just hope one day they realize that they need to have empathy for other people, and this can happen to their parents too. It's exhausting. It's like, just be done with this. Why do people do this? It's just upsetting and disturbing to me. There's so many more things in this world we could be doing with our money and time. At the end of the day, Kameron said she and her family are ready to put this behind them in hopes of giving Carl some peace. We just want to be done with this and we want to move on, and we want my father-in-law to have peace and to not have to deal with this and to let him rest in peace, she said. I honestly think he's holding on his last few days just to try to be a part of this, and he's fighting. He is a fighter, let me tell you that. He is hanging on for his dear life, but it's time for him to rest and pass away and not have to worry about what we're going through to fight for him.